This is Darkscream, and welcome back to another weekly vault. We have a lot of characters to get through today, so let's get right to it. First up, we got the Shaman. Now, the Shaman actually gained almost 5 item levels just from drops and upgrades, so we're doing pretty well. Looks like we're running both Resto and Elemental. We'll go Resto for the vault. Tier would be nice, but I think I can convert, so if not tier, then maybe something to replace these lower level items. Almost anything will be good. Let's see what we get. Okay, tier gloves, that is kind of what we're looking for. Non-tier gloves, that's not what we're looking for. And an offhand, a one-hand weapon that we do not need. Tier gloves, easy choice. Good job, Shaman. Alright, this character's coming right along. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, we've got the Warrior. Still playing Prot and Fury. We actually gained almost 20 item levels from last week. We were very low, but that's a pretty big gain. So I'm going to roll on Fury. I don't have a good two-hander yet. Didn't manage to pick those up. Did get a decent one-hander and shield for Prot, though. So we're going to spec Fury. Let's see what we get. Alright, so we got a tier piece on the hat. Tier piece that we already have. Tier piece that we already have. Easy choice, I suppose. We'll go for the tier helmet. I think we can probably catalyst something and get our 4-piece. Very good. Okay, on a Tauren, that helmet looks pretty good. I don't love that color, but I bet we can do something with that transmog-wise. That's sick. Alright, good job, Warrior. Let's move on to the next character. Next up, we've got the Demon Hunter. Again, playing both tank and melee. We gained about 7 item levels this week before opening the vault. We're going to go ahead and roll Vengeance. We got extremely lucky with our trinkets, by the way. This character is ridiculous now. Tank trinket. Gloves we don't need. Transmog we don't have that we're not going to use because the crafted item is better. Well, I think we'll go for the hat just to collect the transmog. We can upgrade that, get a few pieces of the Kinslayer set. That's fine. Alright, could be worse. Let's move on to the next character. Next up, the Evoker. We ran through some stuff, but we didn't get any drops, so we didn't increase our item level at all since last week. Let's see what the vault holds in store for us. We got Sarkareth legs. We got boots we don't need. Sarkareth legs will save me a couple of crests, I guess. I think this character's got to start doing normal. Well, let's move on to the next one. Next up, we've got the Druid, and if you can't tell by my fancy new summary transmog, we had a very good week. I think this character gained 6 or 7 item levels. We ran some normal Aberrus, so we should have a good vault here as well. My only concern is I'm getting capped out at that 424. This character's going to start having to do heroic soon. We'll roll Resto for a chance at a better trinket, maybe. Hoping to fill out some slots. Let's see what we get. Necklace we don't need, as nice as it would be. Bracers we don't need, but they'd be transmog at least. And a necklace we don't need. Yup, so this character should start running heroic. Now, if this were a serious character, I'd probably take the tokens here. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the transmog, though, just to add that to the set. So a transmog collected on the Druid. I guess we'll try and push heroic this week. Let's move on to the next character. Moving on, next we've got the Rogue. Rogue had a moderate week. I think we gained about 2 item levels in drops. We did LFR. We gotta start getting into normal on this one. We'll go ahead, we'll leave that spec. Actually, we'll roll as Outlaw because I don't necessarily have any of those weapons right now. See what we get. Oh, it looks like we cleared normal, actually. So, just a straight upgrade of trinket I have. Boots that I don't need other than the transmog. And upgraded tier pants. I think we're going to have to go for the trinket here. That's a huge upgrade. And trinket is a double slot, so you have to upgrade the item level of both slots in order to get the, I guess you'd call it the watermark for your item level. So that'll help me out a lot. I'll still keep that old one though, because it's got speed on it, so it'll be useful for farming old world content, transmog, and that kind of stuff that I do sometimes. Not my favorite trinket, but you know what? It's fine. Good job, Rogue, but we've still got more to go. Let's move on to the next character. Next, we've got the Death Knight. Death Knight has been clearing LFR and normal. We're up to item level 420. It's about 2 item level gain from last week. We really have done well getting gear. We have a few slots. Rings would be really nice, for example. We'll go ahead and spec for Unholy. Let's see what we get. Boots that we don't need, cape that we don't need. Be a minor upgrade. Or a beacon to the beyond. Gonna take that, gonna take that. I was not seeing these before, and now my alts are getting them, so that's cool. Hell yeah, brother. Death Knight picking up a beacon. Let's move on to the next character. Coming up next, we've got the Priest. Priest had a pretty good week. We gained about 5 item levels since last week. We actually got into some heroic raid. As you can see here, we had some decent drops as well. I'm going to go ahead and roll as Holy. Let's see what we get. A normal ring that we do not need. Heroic bracers that we don't really need. Heroic shoulders we don't have the transmog for, and we can convert at the catalyst. Looks like that's the winner. Oh, that's an okay shoulder transmog, kinda cool. Alright, the Priest's moved on to heroic. Maybe we'll even try for a mythic first 3, though the Paladin hasn't been successful at the mythic first 3 either. Speaking of the Paladin, let's move on to the next character. And now it's time for the main, the myth, the legend, the Ret Paladin. So this will be a bit better vault than last week. We did more than 1 slot. We only got 1 mythic, but we actually got the very rare drop-off Mythic Kazara, so I can't really complain. We got ourselves a fat, screaming black dragon scale. So we also killed Sarkareth. We got a OTC. So really what we're hoping for here is like maybe a Sarkareth cloak, or like pants, a neck. There's not much we need, so fingers crossed. We got a trinket that we don't really need. This one can be useful just for movement related in theory, but Got bracers we don't need, but at least they'd be a transmog. That's a heroic Ashkander with Leech. That's not bad. For those of you who don't know, the 441 Ashkander usually outperforms 447 on a single target. So having Leech added to that is pretty nice. And then a standard two-hander from M+ that we can ignore. Well, as you can see in my single target set, I'm still using 441 Ash Candor. Probably never going to see the mythic version, right? And it outperforms weapons at 447, so I'm going to take the one with Leech. That's a side grade that I'm happy with. And that wraps up this week with all those alt vaults. We're going to keep doing that, so goals this week, we're going to keep moving those alts up through the difficulties. We have some hitting heroic now, most of them are in the normal range, and I have a few that I haven't even touched that can still run LFR. I think like the monk, the mage, the warlock, the hunter as well, are classes I haven't really touched, so we'll work on that. We're also maxing out our professions. I'm reaching maximum knowledge on a number of my professions now. As the weeks go on, I suspect more of them will be maxed out. Finally, I really want to gear all of these characters so that I can get them into the Mega Dungeon. I think I will just run the Mega Dungeon 13 times a week or something like that if I can. It'll be hard because the item level requirement will probably be a little bit high, but not too high, right? And with that, we're at the end of the video. And you know what I'm going to say here, folks. If you're enjoying these videos, remember to smash that like, hit that subscribe, leave me a comment, let you know how you feel, and I'll see you next time. Again, my name is Darkscream. Peace.